Hare Krishna devotees, continuing with our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series with the Haṁsa-guhya Stuti by Prajapati Daksha. Today's shloka number is 26 of chapter 4, canto 6. Yado paramo manaso nama rupa
Yado paramo manaso nama rupa
rupasya drishta smriti sampramoshat
rupasya drishta smriti sampramoshat
ya iyate kevalaya swasamsthaya
ya iyate kevalaya swasamsthaya
Haṁsaya tasmai shuchi sadmane namaha.
Haṁsaya tasmai shuchi sadmane namaha.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Yada,
Yada,
when in trance.
when in trance.
Uparamaha,
Uparamaha,
complete cessation.
complete cessation.
Manasaha,
Manasaha,
of the mind.
of the mind.
Nama Rupa,
Nama Rupa,
material names and forms.
material names and forms.
Rupasya,
Rupasya,
of that by which they appear.
of that by which they appear.
Drishta,
Drishta,
of material vision.
of material vision.
Smriti,
Smriti,
and of remembrance.
and of remembrance.
Sampramoshat,
Sampramoshat,
due to the destruction.
due to the destruction.
Yaha,
Yaha,
who, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
who, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Iyate,
Iyate,
is perceived.
is perceived.
Kevalaya,
Kevalaya,
with spiritual.
with spiritual.
Swasamsthaya,
Swasamsthaya,
his own original form.
his own original form.
Haṁsaya,
Haṁsaya,
unto the Supreme Pure.
unto the Supreme Pure.
Tasmai,
Tasmai,
unto him.
unto him.
Shuchi Sadmane,
Shuchi Sadmane,
who is realized only in the pure state of spiritual existence.
who is realized only in the pure state of spiritual existence.
Namaha,
Namaha,
I offer my respectful obeisances.
I offer my respectful obeisances.
Translation. When one's consciousness is completely purified
When one's consciousness is completely purified
of the contamination of material existence,
of the contamination of material existence,
gross and subtle,
gross and subtle,
without being agitated,
without being agitated,
as in the working and dreaming states,
as in the working and dreaming states,
and when the mind is not dissolved, as in
and
sushupti,
when the mind is not dissolved, as in sushupti,
deep sleep,
deep sleep,
one comes to the platform of trance.
one comes to the platform of trance.
Then one's material vision
Then one's material vision
and the memories of the mind,
and the memories of the mind,
which manifests names and forms, are vanquished.
which manifests names and forms, are vanquished.
Only in such a trance is the Supreme Personality of Godhead revealed.
Only in such a trance is the Supreme Personality of Godhead revealed.
Thus, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Thus, let us offer our respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
who is seen in that uncontaminated transcendental state.
who is seen in that uncontaminated transcendental state.
So we'll read from Srila Prabhupada's purport. There are two stages of God realization. One is called Sugnyayam, or very easily understood, generally by mental speculation. And the other is called Durnyayam, understood only with difficulty. Paramatma realization and Brahman realization are considered Sugnyayam. But realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Durgneyam. As described here, one attains the ultimate realization of the personality of Godhead when one gives up the activities of the mind, thinking, feeling, and willing, or in other words, when mental speculation stops. If you look at it, our mind is always speculating. It can even speculate about the Lord. So the mind presents to you on a daily basis so many different topics that you ponder on. So the mind is always chattering. The mind is always speaking to you. In the sense, it's like a device that is always on. But this device can be compared to a computer. In today's day and age, our phone is always on. For some people like me, laptop is always on. People who probably work in the IT world, your laptop is always on. What can the computer do? The computer can only present to you what it is already programmed with. Similarly, the mind can only present to you what it is already programmed with. The mind by itself does not have an independent existence where it can concoct things. It is actually a programming of the mind that determines whether your mind is your friend or your enemy, as Krishna says in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In response to Arjuna's question, Krishna says, well, your mind can be your friend if you train it to be your friend. Your mind can act as your enemy if you do not control your mind or if you do not regulate your mind. So I was listening to an interesting lecture by His Grace Abhiram Das, who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And he was saying, if you actually think about it, every activity of the mind is speculation. Barring your thinking about the Lord. Actually, even thinking about the Lord is speculation, he said. Because we sometimes imagine how God may look or how he will reciprocate with us. So speculating about the Lord, of course, on the one hand, as to who he is not appropriate because the Shastras clearly describe to us who the Supreme Lord is. So we need not speculate. But even if you do speculate about the Lord in a positive way, then that is also auspicious because Krishna is all auspicious. So we were talking about seeing and not seeing the Lord, and not seeing the Lord and seeing the Lord as being diametrically opposite to each other. And what's the difference is the state of consciousness. Actually, what is being revealed in this verse is highly confidential. It talks about the trance when you're able to see the Lord. So here Prabhupada is saying, as described here, one attains the ultimate realization of the personality of Godhead when one gives up the activities of the mind, thinking, feeling, and willing, or in other words, when mental speculation stops. This transcendental realization is above sushupti, deep sleep. In our gross conditional stage, we perceive things through material experience and remembrance. And in the subtle stage, we perceive the world in dreams. The process of vision also involves remembrance and also exists in a subtle form. So one is your gross experience, what your eyes see, what your skin feels, what your ears hear, etc. Then your mind provides you a lot of subtle experiences. Your mind takes you down difficult paths, and the mind can also be trained to take you towards exalted paths. But we have to go beyond the experience of the body, beyond the experience of the subtle mind, the subtle intelligence, to really understand who the Supreme Lord is. So Prabhupada is saying above gross experience and dreams is sushupti, deep sleep. And when one comes to the completely spiritual platform, transcending deep sleep, he attains trance, which is Vishuddha Sattva or Vasudeva Sattva, in which the personality of Godhead is revealed. Once when Prabhupada was performing Kirtan, I think this was in the New York temple, if I'm not mistaken, suddenly in the middle of the class, he suddenly chants Narada Muni's mantra. And later on, they asked him, his disciples asked him, why did you suddenly kind of interrupt the class and chant some other mantra? It didn't make sense to us. So Prabhupada said, didn't you see Narada Muni? He was attending the class. So only pure devotees can even see exalted devotees' presence. So Prabhupada is saying you have to go beyond your material waking state, beyond your material dream state, go beyond deep sleep and reach that stage which is called Vishuddha Sattva or Vasudeva Sattva, in which the personality of Godhead is revealed. Atah Shri Krishna Namadi Nababhed Grahyam Indriyaihi. This is in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. As long as one is situated in duality on the sensual platform, gross or subtle, realization of the original personality of Godhead is impossible. Sevon mukhe hi jihvadau swayam eva spuratyadaha. But when one engages his senses in the service of the Lord, specifically when one engages the tongue in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and tasting only Krishna Prasad with a spirit of service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed. So in his class that Abhiram Das Prabhu was giving, he was saying how when we go in front of the altar, the altar is beautifully decorated. Their lordships are beautifully decorated, as we all recently experienced the beautiful altar decoration done by so many Matajis, so many Vaishnavis. The dress of the Lord that was stitched, the peacock attire. Everything is so beautiful. Everything is so attractive because everything about Krishna is attractive. But then that becomes eye candy. So Prabhu was explaining very nicely what the real meaning of darshan is. Yes, we are taking darshan of the Lord. The Lord is taking darshan of you. You are standing before his altar. But the real meaning of darshan, Prabhu was explaining, is that when you go in front of the altar, you tell the Lord, here I am. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. I have decorated my body with tilak. I am wearing the kanti mala. Please engage me in your service. I am reporting to you so that you can engage me in your service. So that is such a deep understanding of what the word darshan means. Generally, we are so anxious to be the first one to take darshan when the altar opens. Or we're so anxious to sit and watch the abhishek of the Lord so that we can be absorbed in that abhishek. Yes, that is also nice. That is also darshan. But the deeper meaning of darshan is to tell the Lord, you are offering yourself in his service. Therefore, the higher form of darshan is actually to be engaged in service of the Lord. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Sevon mukhe hi jihvadau swayam eva spuratyadaha. But when one engages his senses in the service of the Lord, specifically when one engages the tongue in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and tasting only Krishna Prasada with the spirit of service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed. So as you make progress on the path of devotional service, those who are engaged in serving the Lord in various capacities, they are making the fastest advancement. I remember in the early days, I also used to like and just sit and watch the Abhishek, or just sit and hear Harikatha. All of that is necessary for a purification, not to say that it is not important. It is necessary for a purification. But the higher stage is when you're busy in the service of Krishna. Your mind, your body, your speech, everything is occupied in the service of Krishna. And in this way, the Lord will reveal himself to you. So Prabhupada is saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed in the beginning when you engage your tongue in chanting the holy names and honoring Krishna Prasad. But you do both in the spirit of service. This is indicated in this verse by the word Shuchi Sadmane. Shuchi means purified. By the spirit of rendering service with one's senses, one's entire existence becomes Shuchi Sattva, the platform of uncontaminated purity. Daksha therefore offers his respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is revealed on the platform of Shuchi Sattva. In this regard, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura quotes the following prayer by Lord Brahma from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.6. Tathapi bhuman mahima gunasya te vibodhum arhati amalantar atmabhihi. One whose heart has become completely purified, my Lord, can understand the transcendental qualities of your Lordship and can understand the greatness of your activities. So Daksha, Prajapati Daksha, is saying that you have to go beyond your material experiences and reach that stage where you're completely on the spiritual platform, where in the mood of service, the Lord will reveal himself to you. So that is what we all have to aspire for, to go beyond the bodily experience, the sensory experiences, the mental experiences, the experiences that we have through our intelligence, and go to that platform where our service itself is offered with purity.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.